Welcome to episode 99, everybody. We are right there. Like literally one episode. One. And we'll be at 100.
Uno mas.
How does that make you feel, Daniel?
Uh, I don't know, man, because we haven't really dived into what we're gonna do anything special
I
for
have no
episode
idea.
100.
you know,
I have no fucking clue either.
do we make a big grand show and have some people on and I actually clean the fucking room up for the YouTube one time, or do we just kind of like, I have no idea. I like to have some people on, but we need to talk about that this week sometime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's all
we'll
good.
we'll have to brainstorm.
Yeah, all good. Real quick, I just wanted to. At first, I want to open my phone. That's the first thing I want to do. I want to give a shout out to a listener who engages with us on Spotify. Comments Fargo252. He said in our last episode, Kicking It with TC, he says, I totally get where y'all are at with your kids. I have a 3.5-year-old and work one weekend a month, so I only play about once every 2 months. I don't want to miss time with my son. Somebody gets it.
Yeah, thank God, man.
Yeah. Yeah. 3.5. 3.5 is fun. When Jacob turned 3, we called him our little three-nager, and he developed his little personality and his attitude and stuff, but it was still fun. So, yeah, man, Fargo252, sir, enjoy every second that you can because it goes fast. Very.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. So,
Excuse me.
before I do the pleasantries and everything, Daniel, we didn't really discuss this, but it is Sunday night. The event is over. You and I both have to work, so this is probably going to be sort of a quick one tonight.
Yeah, we kind of dropped the ball on
Yeah,
our typical like pregame, but we just, man, with everything going on between us, we just haven't had any fucking time whatsoever.
schedules are
And like we're,
crazy.
yeah, dude, like we're gonna try to make sure that this isn't like a habit, like a every time occurrence or something needs to come down. But like, shit happens. But we're looking to get back on track with the next one for a cup, and hopefully we'll see some of y'all down there at cup because we are definitely going.
Yes, so to be completely transparent with you and the listeners and the 6 YouTube viewers, shout out to the YouTube one time. The
Uh,
pregame and postgames don't do the greatest. The post games do way better than the pre games, and we could do better with those. You did a good job on giving us a format to discuss. Um, yeah, so every event may not get a pre and a post moving forward, depending on how our schedules are. I think cups
Definitely a post.
I think yeah, like a recap. That's kind of what
Yeah.
we're doing here, doing a Texas recap. I think personally, if we don't, I don't think it has to be an all or nothing or none or all type deal. If one event gets one and the one doesn't, I think that's great. But every event will get a recap, but I think that World Cup should definitely get a pre and a post.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's the most important tournament of the year every year. Biggest one, most important. It don't matter. Don't matter if you've won every tournament in the NXL all year. If you don't win cup, nobody. That's what everybody's going to remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, just kind of like a little update for everybody there. Things are a little bit different over here for Daniel and I, as we've stated for the last 4 or 5 months now. So still adjusting, still trying to pump content out for you guys. But I also don't want to be here sitting. Sorry.
Anymore.
And I'm just making sure my kid is not awake. Let's see. But I don't want to be sitting here just reading shit off, so monotone. Hold that thought real quick. Yeah, my wife's checking to make sure the kid's asleep. So,
No, I get you. Like basically reading off like our worksheet. Our top
yeah.
five picks are going to be Impact, Legion, X Factor, or
Yes.
anything. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to do that shit neither.
Or
That's
just.
why I tried to spice it up a little bit. I honestly thought about kind of revamping our little worksheet that I made.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and honestly, I thought about doing like uh, like pre-worksheet Alpha, pre-worksheet Bravo, and Charlie, and then like switch it up.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So like it has like different questions, kind of changes it up, kind of less predictable. And I
Mm-hmm.
even thought about doing like a putting Alpha Bravo Charlie in hats and stuff and like drawing out or doing like some kind
Yeah,
of random stand or
yeah,
some shit. Okay, all right, we're gonna talk about go based off this worksheet or something. Something to kind of keep, the listeners interested and stuff like that so it ain't the same shit over and over and over because that's
yeah.
definitely what we don't like to do here.
What's funny is we pretty much read off the same 5 teams every event. Like, I want this guy to win. I
Yeah.
really want to see this player do this. So, yeah. Just moving forward, there may be some changes, and sound off in the Instagram in the comments and stuff. If you love the pre and the post format, let us know. If you could do without, let us know. We may just do an event recap, and just to maintain the transparency while I'm going on this rant, the idea behind the 2 episodes was to kind of fill spaces in between topics so that we didn't like burn through topics super fast.
Yeah.
So it does help. So if we do decide to go to a recap only, and then you see a pregame and a postgame, just know that we're fucking on a writer's block. We don't have any idea what to talk about. Oh man.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, so real quick before we jump in, what's new with you? What's going on? Everybody good? Family's good?
So where do I fucking begin?
Mm,
For those that don't
why
know,
did
I
I
don't think
ask?
yeah. All right, moving on to the next topic.
All right.
Um, um,
Oh my god.
join us next time. No, so in all seriousness, I don't think I told anybody about this in the last episode. Um, actually, no, I don't think I did because I don't think it fucking happened yet. So of course I wouldn't have said it. But our laundry room overflooded. The washing machine and the wash and dryer hookups upstairs for us, and
The
the washing
drain,
machine,
wasn't it?
it was the drain line, and it spewed out Niagara Falls, and it messed up carpet in the loft, the master closet, messed up the flooring in the laundry room, and then it ended up seeping through the baseboard and through the floor, through the ceiling fan into the living room.
Mm,
So like everything is definitely out of order right now. And on top of that, I I guess it's already been made public on Facebook, but we are no longer going to South Korea, which is a
who made this?
big fucking bummer.
Who made this public on Facebook?
Um,
Oh. Oh.
uh,
Well, I didn't know that was public knowledge, but I mean, yes, I mean, all.
yeah, even what like the shitty part is I don't know where I'm going now. I do
Mm,
have. I'll talk to you off air about
El
this. I don't
Paso.
want to put this. No, I don't want to put this out in public just yet because I don't want to mess up my chances. But there's like a golden opportunity for me to go do something completely different with the army. Like I said, I'll talk to you off air about that. Talking about going to be like a line cook for Gordon Ramsay.
Insert
Are
line
you
cook
fucking
joke here.
stupid?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but I don't know, man. I'm still trying to get my original game plan of going to Fort Eustis, Virginia after Korea, because that's still like that's on my tracker right now, like online when I go to check my little soldier talent profile is what they call it now, and it
Mm-hmm.
shows you like your awards, where you're projected to go, blah 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 blah. Well, it still says Fort Eustis after Korea. I'm like, well, I'm not going to Korea. Can I fucking go to Eustis now? And I haven't gotten an email back from this dude, so hopefully I'll find out something Monday.
Yeah.
It has to happen quick because I'm losing my fucking mind with this because I don't know where I'm going to go.
Yeah. Have you told Dad?
Yeah, I told Dad,
Mm-hmm.
told you, TC, obviously Ashley knows.
And now all of our
Um,
listeners and viewers.
all 12 of our listeners know that
Yeah.
I'm no longer going. Sorry, Evan.
Yeah. Shout out Scott
I was,
Forbes.
I was actually really pretty bummed about that because I was going to try to hook up with Evan and play with him. But I was trying to link up with him for like the Asian circuit or Malaysia circuit or something like that. And that kind of sucks.
He's in the back of Rift.
Holy shit! He's in the Godzilla!
Oh my god. He shot me in the rotor. Oh
No,
my god.
that's impossible.
Oh my god.
I should have first.
We're getting fucking canceled today. That's
Oh
great.
my Lanta.
Who blew up
Oh,
Panama Canal? we we were very angry with you.
oh, here comes that fucking what was it Titan Legal or some shit?
Fuck them. Fuck them. Don't get me started on that fucking truck lawyer chasing bullshit. Don't get me started on that. Anyways, um,
Anywho,
yeah. No, that's crazy though. Anyways, the event. No.
yeah. Yes, sad. Anyways,
Anyways, yes. Yeah.
oh well, yeah, it kind of sucks, man. And I went out to Hoppers today and played on that event too, so that was interesting. They had that layout up. And I believe that that's the layout they're going to use for the MVPS. That's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Watched a good bit of the prelims, and I was like, you know what? I'll go there. I'll try to mimic the pros. You know, who fucking cares? And it did not work out that way. But yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Yep. We can talk
What
about
about
it
you?
now.
What you got going on?
Not a fucking thing.
Same old, tired as
I'm
fuck.
tired all the time.
Yep.
I feel like I'm wide open all the time. And I mean, life is good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm very appreciative of where I'm at right now.
Better
Just
do.
yeah, just like I told Ryan on our episode on From the Sideline. If you haven't heard that, you need to go check that out because that's a fucking great one, by the way, and the rest of their episodes. But anyways, I read that thing that said, how, what was it? How blessed am I to be tired from the work I once prayed for, or something like that. So, like, I'm extremely thankful, and life is good, but it comes with its challenges, and I'm adapting. So, um, trying to juggle home life, somewhat still new career, and I'm trying to keep the flame alive for doing this show. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes I be so fucking tired and exhausted by the time I get everything done in my nighttime routine. I'm like, dude, let's just push that bitch out to the end of the weekend. But it's kind of why this one won't be out before Monday. Like, usually it's a midnight release. I'm gonna edit it and everything and throw it up tomorrow afternoon when I get home.
Word, word.
Yeah, so
Um,
life is crazy.
yeah, well, if you ever get to like shit, man, because I'm still working on OBS because I'm trying to figure out this whole fucking YouTube thing. It is kicking my ass.
I've
I'm
never
about
seen
to
somebody
pay
take
for
6 months to put a review tape up.
what? Like I'm not just doing just the review. I'm doing other shit. Like it's like more than one product. So I'm not trying to just like do like onesies and twosies. I'm trying to drop like fucking 5 or 6 videos at once.
Yeah.
But just like today, I took my fucking camera out there, and I was trying to get some footage, and I was gonna make some more reels for social media. I forgot the fucking memory card, so I couldn't take any video. I was like,
Ooh, I've done that. That sucks.
fuck.
Yeah, I've done that.
Man, I was not happy about that.
Yeah, that's amateur move. So
Yeah,
let's
technology is not my strong suit.
yeah, let's dive into the event. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I did not watch any of the 3v3. Um, I was
I watched a little bit of that.
I didn't get to watch any of it, but congratulations to Dynasty for taking the W on that. Um, and then I didn't watch a whole lot of the prelims. I watched more Saturday than I did Friday, and then I watched a pretty good bit today in between my. We kind of took today and stuck around the house, and we were getting some baby stuff out to attic that Noah's ready for. Like, I put his prison back up. For people who don't know, the prison is the big ass playpen that takes up half my living room. But that thing like you had for Landon, yeah. So, but I was watching in between stuff like that. So for me, I have a couple little notes here. I told you off air I'm gonna kind of fire off the hip about some things, and I'm probably gonna kind of like ride your coattails a little bit and let you kind of take lead on it.
Okay, you want me to start it off now?
Sure. Let me say this real quick first. Since there was a new gear release, I don't know if it's a release, but it's been unveiled. The new HK frames.
I was about to ask you about that.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them. They're not my favorite. I think they look better on the RMX than the Flex frames do.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Like, I think my favorite one that I saw this weekend was Marcelo's with the yellow frame, and like he's got like
Hmm.
charcoal or black bottoms or whatever. Pretty dope.
I'll let you have that.
Yeah.
I usually I did in typical Daniel fashion. I'll talk shit about. I fucking hate it.
As soon as something
Well,
drops, I hate that motherfucker.
yeah, and oh, it grew on me. And I was like, I don't know if that's ever gonna fucking. Maybe if I see him in person, I might make like one build or something,
Yeah.
but probably not.
How long until somebody puts a flex bottom on the frames? Reverse Uno. I haven't seen it on socials yet.
Give it a week or two,
Yeah.
or just wait till someone gets their hands on the cup. It'll be like probably fucking instant.
Are they released to the public now, or is that like a cut release? What's going on with that? I haven't kept up with hardly any of it.
I'm assuming it's a cup release.
Yeah.
Like what better way to get
I'm gonna
people to
look.
come to your fucking booth is to
Yeah.
release new gear. So who knows, man? I'm not too crazy about that. I'm expecting, and dear fucking God, nobody has told us this from Pro DNA or Infamous, but I'm expecting Skull Bottoms to drop at Cup. That's just my
Yeah.
prediction.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say Skull Bottoms, probably one or two new frames, and probably some new straps.
I
I
bet.
think they're good.
I bet JT drops thins at cup.
Oh yeah, that too. They're gonna drop thins at Cup. Let's see. I'm wondering. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Like I was wondering if Hormesis will get their own Proflex, because you know how like Hydra has theirs.
Well, they
Um,
kind of in a way.
also, also did you see the clear bottoms with the Dynasty Blue Dragon that Ryan Greenspan had?
Yeah.
They're probably going to release those
They've
too.
been they've been
I'm
circulating on Instagram for a little bit, but
yeah.
Hormesis has some flex bottoms. Now, forgive me, they might be dipped or hand painted, but they do release them in bulk. I think there might be 20
Yeah,
or
but I
30
mean
of
like an
each.
entire build,
Yeah,
like an entire build, because you know how like this is like the Hydra
yeah.
slash PB Fit Flex, and then there was another one. Then they had like the vintage. Um,
Can I just can I say maybe it's a hot take? I don't think I'm alone in this. Remember when the first Dynasty GI Flex came out and it was like the white nose, black bottom, and it had the dragons and shit all over it and all over the frames?
the on the frame,
all
you mean
all
the
over the all over
OGs?
the no, the GI that was like
Oh
last year or
yeah, that
two.
was horrible,
Terrible,
horrible.
terrible.
Yep.
Can we not put the dragons all over the fucking mask? Do the frames. This is probably what I would do, especially since clears are such a hot thing. This is not event talk at all, but whatever. Um, I would
Well,
probably
technically it is.
I'd probably do like the OG, mock the OG to pearl white frames with the blue dragons, because people seem to
Mm-hmm.
love those. They've tried that, but all that was they had like an overstock of white frames, just plain Jane white frames, and dipped them in dragons. Anyways, pearl frames with blue dragons, and maybe like a blue nose, clear skirt, no kind of print, nowhere on it, and maybe like a DV8 ear and a cool dynasty strap instead of
The
just drag.
dragon, put the dragon on the ear
Yeah,
instead of all
instead
over
of
the fucking
dragons all
bottom.
from top to bottom. I just don't. To me, it's kind of cringy. Mm, maybe I don't want to say cringy, but
It's overkill to
you
me.
see, there's not one on my shelf,
And
or you don't see anything that's on my shelf, but it's not back there.
yeah, I don't own any Dynasty Flex parts.
I would
I
buy
don't.
the OG frames if I had a good deal and they weren't about to crumble to pieces because they're very brittle. So
Yeah, I'm not buying those. Once I
yeah,
find out that the shelf life ain't all that great, I don't buy them. But
yeah.
let's go ahead and dive into this event. I have and not like how I did it cut. Let's not dive there. I
Yeah.
ain't trying to crash and
Oh,
burn
my
here.
shoulder.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Excuse
8,
me.
8 notes. 8 notes that I wrote for this event, since we're gonna try to keep it kind of short, unfortunately. Throughout the entire prelims for Texas event, first of all, the layout. What did you think about the layout and how it played? But like somebody slow, somebody says fast. Like, what's your take on it?
Primarily, and you brought this up off air right before we started. Primarily, it was a slow layout. There was a lot of low scoring games. There wasn't a whole lot of, you know, bang bang back and forth. Now there would be some points, especially towards Sunday, where somebody would blow the snake open, or especially Dorito side, because it was so heavily on snake that somebody could make a big move on the Dorito side and blow the whole game open, and then you would have your fast pace. And
Right.
but when the layout initially dropped, I was like, wow, there's not a whole lot of center presence there. Like you had some big bricks and stuff in the middle, but there wasn't a whole lot between you and the big 40 and 50 bricks from the start box. Now, X Factor showed us that you could make that in the finals, and they made it there alive, and they didn't really produce a whole lot out of there that I remember, but you could tell that the way that first set of beams was going into the snake, that it was going to be a super heavy doubled up snake, and it's been even tripled up.
Yeah, I was
Where
about to say,
even
a lot of them were tripling sacking it.
yeah, and then you put somebody in the home and leave your Dorito guy on an island, and yeah, I don't know. I like snake play and stuff like that, but I don't really care to see gameplay as a casual fan where there's two or three guys in the snake just getting crossfield kills. Um, I like to kind of see things develop where, like an event or two ago where, Kirill would punch up the middle and just do damage while everybody's focused on like a 50 snake, and Kirill just sneaks up there, and nobody knows it, and he's just, from the center, just bam, 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 bam. And I'm not being biased because we're the center 50, not snake 50, but I like things on the Dorito side. The VIP section is on the Dorito side, so I don't think you need to funnel. And I don't know if that was J-Tro's intentions, but I don't think you need to funnel everybody to snake side, and I think that's what you did with that layout.
Essentially.
Not a bad
You
layout.
watch like it's not a bad layout. I actually enjoyed watching it, other than the fact like how Impact was basically slow playing the fuck out of it. Like I hate that. I hate when they fucking do that. It's one of the reasons why I don't like that program.
Yeah,
Um, but do what you gotta do to win, you know.
I
But it's
respect
just
it
like
as a player because
as
it's
a
it's
fan, I
it's
hate it.
as a casual viewing fan, I don't care for it, but as a player, I respect it because there's tons of thought into why this person is staying in this position so they can communicate with this person that's staying in their position, and if they're so confident on their guns where they can get the other team to get antsy and run into them, I respect that. Don't get me wrong, but me sitting on my couch like a fucking potato, waiting to see some Crystal
Yeah,
Soya Oliver Lang run through the center. It's not very entertaining, but just like you said, win by any means.
yeah. Um, I liked the layout. I liked playing it. I played it like maybe 5 or 6 points today or something like that. Um, we'll we'll talk about that like next episode because I got a nice little topic.
Okay,
Um,
good because I'm
but
out. Well, I don't know. That's 100. That's maybe 101.
yeah, we'll save it for 101.
Yeah.
Um, other than the layout, let's see, a lot of the carnage. One of my notes is like four teams only won one match in the prelims, like an entire match, and that was Leverage, who surprise surprise beat Dynasty. Like
Mm.
nobody saw that shit coming, and that was fucking wild. I didn't get to see that because I think I was actually grocery shopping
How lame!
with,
How
with,
dare you provide
with the
food for
kids.
your family?
Yeah, I know, right? So I missed that one. Well, we can possibly dive into that. I don't have really too much to say about it. Just kudos to
It's
Leverage.
unfortunate. That
Um,
had to be a huge
yeah.
morale boost for them, even though they're
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much,
for real.
on the relegation train. Choo choo, choo choo. But
Yeah.
at least they can say that they, yeah,
They beat Dynasty one
yeah.
time. Sea Dogs only won one match. Extreme only won one match, and then so did Aftermath. Um,
Did the Sea
I hate
Dogs only
this.
win one?
They only won one match. Yep.
Damn. Who was it against?
Let's see. Sea Dogs went 2-0 against. Come on, Internets. New York Extreme.
Oh yeah, fuck New York.
That's the only ones that they won
Yeah.
against. And then I have three teams go undefeated through the entire preliminary rounds, which would be Arsenal, Impact, and Legion. Nope. excuse me, no big surprise for about Impact and Legion. That's
Can,
kind
can
of,
we can we talk about
you
Arsenal for a
know,
second?
yes, absolutely. I was about to dive into that.
They
Now,
look great.
Arsenal looked solid.
Yeah, they look
They
great.
looked they looked like they were extremely dialed in. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it was great. It was actually pretty I don't want to say not just entertaining, but kind of like damn, like look at these guys coming up, with the big guys and going
I was
undefeated to the
rooting. Yeah, I
prelims.
was rooting for him.
Yeah.
I'm a Cody Mikowski fan, so also big ABJ guy. All that. But I'm just sitting here in the camera watching myself twist his chair back and forth like I have a nervous tick. But yeah, I really did enjoy watching Arsenal this weekend. I've been if you go back to some of our pre games, that's been kind of my underdog. Another one, real quick, without getting off of the Arsenal subject, Hurricanes. You know,
Yeah, oh absolutely.
yeah, one of my notes is Hurricanes and Arsenal make a deep Sunday run, and huge. I don't know if Arsenal's Sunday run was terribly deep, but um, huge for those guys, and for me, it's even bigger for the Hurricanes to do it because the last time they saw the finals was they had Coach Mike Bianco with them, versus
Going
Dynasty,
against Dynasty
and they did a
of
very
all
good
people.
job in that match. But for them to be such a homegrown team, Daniel Camp played amazing. C. Wright played amazing. All those guys, they just did a very good job, and I hope that they don't sell themselves short and they pat themselves on the back for for pressing so hard in the Sunday that like they haven't had a great
I'm
track
sure they
record.
are.
Yeah,
I'm sure they are, man. I don't think they're really counting uh like each other out and shit like that. I do
right.
have real quick the teams that secured Sunday.
Yeah,
So it was Uprising, which was very good to watch.
yep,
Tauntauns, X Factor, Red Legion, Damage, Hurricanes, Fit, Impact, Infamous, and Arsenal.
yeah.
So those are your teams that made Sunday. So
Which
like
not a whole lot on that list, if any at all, that kind of surprised you getting into Sunday. You know.
Uprising,
I mean, Uprising's been playing well this year, though. They haven't been very consistent with like top 3, 4, 5 finishes, but they've been doing very well. And it seems like to me when I watch them, and forgive me because I don't study Seattle Uprising. I do like them. I'm a Jimmy Hickey fan, and but it just seems like they have it together, and then they don't, and then they have it together, and then they don't, and
yeah,
it's like they'll get up on points and squander it. So I didn't really see that a whole lot this weekend. It just seems like they got outplayed a little bit. Which I mean, of course they lost. They're matched and got kicked out. But um, I don't know. And the Bucky's jerseys were pretty cool.
but let's see. Then there was let's see, how many did I write down? Two teams. Yeah, it was two teams that didn't win a single match in all their prelim rounds, but they only got like the Energy Elite only won 1 point the entire tournament,
Mm.
and then the entire tournament they only scored 1 point, which means they either shot all the opposing team. For those that don't really know, and hit the buzzer on their start box, or they managed to weasel their way through with like maybe one or two people alive and hit the buzzer.
Yeah.
Regardless, the opposing team was able to hit the buzzer and without a hit, so
Yeah.
which is crazy. And then the Los Angeles Ironmen, they won only 3 points the entire tournament.
Not a great event for those guys.
No, I kind of expected from Energy Elite because they had the bomb go off. What was it in? When the fuck did Damian Vasquez leave? Because that was like easily their best player for a while. Uh,
Is Devin Stewart back on Energy Elite?
I think so. I could possibly check.
I don't know. He moves around so much. Didn't he just go back to semi-pro and come back? Devin Stewart is kind of like a silent assassin. When people start talking about good players, they don't really
He's on their roster.
yeah, they don't really count him in that conversation that much until they see him on Go Sports and he's out there just fucking punishing people. But
Yeah.
just I don't know what happened to NRG Elite this event, but we better do something different
Wasn't
for
there?
November.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mm.
But that was pretty crazy. Like looking through the scores and everything, there's not a lot of teams that scored over like 3 or 4 points because everybody played like the slow game. And tip like what not really surprising, but Fit had consistent like 4-2, 4-3,
Hmm.
4-0, and then they got beat out by
Uprising,
Uprising
Uprising
beat
knocked them
them
out.
3-2.
And let me just say this: I'm gonna probably get some flack for this. I like PB Fit. I I think Scott Stewart might be my favorite person to watch on that team. Um, I enjoyed his interview on PTG when he got the MVP a couple events ago. So I do like Fit. I like what they stand for and everything, but I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of glad to see him get knocked out this weekend.
You don't want their egos getting too
Well,
big.
no, well, I don't want to say that because it was against Uprising, and I think that was a huge confident boost that Uprising needed. They kind of Fit is still, even though they haven't won all consecutive events this year now. They won what they had a 3 or 4 peat, four
I think it
peat,
was a three-peat,
3 peat. So
three, I believe.
forgive me, I don't. It was a very impressive run that they were on. So absolutely not taking nothing away from those guys, but they were in Texas. The same thing with fucking X Factor, which I was rooting for X Factor when it come down to them and Impact, and Uprising takes out the home state team, and I was like, hell yeah, that's kind of cool, but like it wasn't nothing malicious. Like I wasn't like fuck Fit, get off the field. I was like, damn, I really hope Uprising beats them.
I was wanting it for Uprising, man, because I think I want to say because they took third place. I think that was their first ever pro NXL or pro X Ball podium.
Oh, it might be. I don't know. Somebody had to fact check
I,
us on that.
I'm gonna have to look, but I'm pretty sure that's like the first time they've ever podiumed in pro.
Yeah,
So
which
like,
is awesome.
you know, kudos to them, man, because it took I think they said like 10 years or some shit like that.
Yeah.
They made a post about it. I'll find it later or whatever. But during the prelims there was only one team that scored 5 points, and that was Legion. Everybody else was like 2 or 3
Yeah.
or 1. And then only like maybe a 2 to 3 teams that were basically putting 4 up on the board, and Infamous was one of them. Infamous was putting it on people,
Yeah.
and yeah, the 2 games that they won, it was 4-2 and 4-1, and then Legion, yeah, 3-0, 5-2, 2-1, 5-2. Like those, dude, those scores, like Legion ain't playing around. They never play
Who
around like
who
that.
knocked
But like,
Legion
you know what I
out?
mean?
Because I didn't even. I missed that. Like who knocked him
Let's
out?
see.
Because for them,
Quarterfinals. I think it was X Factor.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you at all. I didn't watch a single Red Legion match this weekend.
Hold on.
Hmm. Yeah, because I thought they were doing well.
They were.
Yeah.
X Factor took out the Hurricanes on that one, so I need to scroll back a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Do 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 do. While you're looking for that, quick
Do,
side note.
do, 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 do,
Maybe
do.
we're gonna have probably 4 to I don't know anywhere from 4 to 10 more episodes, and then we're gonna shut down for good. No, I'm gonna get a different desk set up, and since Daniel's looks way more professional than my shit, my little spare bedroom up here, I'm gonna get a different desk set up and kind of do something similar to what you have, and then what I'd like to do is get that second monitor going and start like putting things on screen as we talk about them and shit for the YouTube. If you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts,
X Factor took out Legion.
X Factor, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why, I
So
don't know why I couldn't remember that because I was watching that at the field.
I didn't watch a single Red Legion game. Not because I don't like Red Legion. I do like Red Legion, but it was just every time I turned it on, they weren't on there.
Yeah.
So
No, I get that, but no, Legion, they were pretty solid. They had they had Maddie on his toes with some of these moves. Like he was like, "Oh wow, check this out! Oh
Yeah, yeah.
my God, it's Legion."
Speaking of, since I didn't watch Friday, was Mike Jeffries not there all weekend because they had Greg Sewers in the booth with Maddie?
I don't know. I noticed that like off the rip, but I don't
Yeah,
know if he just couldn't make it or if he was fired
yeah.
or I don't know.
I don't know. Shout out Greg Sewers, longtime bowler. Uh, which I mean, I do like Mike Jeffries. I think Mike Jeffries does a really good job up there in the booth. Greg did an amazing job as well. So it's awesome that they were able to get somebody to stand in. And also, big shout out to Jen Folk. They put her up there several times, and I think that she could be a full time Go Sports MLPB Plus broadcaster. She's very knowledgeable about the game. She's very articulate in how she speaks. So I think that, let's just say Maddie was going to retire tomorrow and they offered her the job. I think she would be a great replacement.
Yeah, bring back Rich Telford. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Um, uh, speaking of X Factor handed PB Fit their only loss throughout the prelims too.
Oh, really? Texas on
Yep.
Texas crime.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you want to go ahead and get into the finals since we're talking about X Factor, or do you have a couple things you need to hit on?
No, not really, because we already went through almost all my notes already just in that little
Yeah.
spiel.
I just want to know what happened to X Factor.
Uh, bro, I don't know. Um,
What was it? 5-2.
I believe so. Yes.
5-2, I think.
Well, we should probably really
Yeah.
have.
So
Yeah,
I
5-2.
forgot. I forgot they were doing the 2 10-minute halves. I forgot the last event. I forgot that as well.
Well, you see
So
what I put in the chat. I was like, do they still do that? Mark's
yeah,
like, they're in the second half, and I was like, oh,
yeah, no shit.
ow.
So they had like a 10-minute point or better in the first half, and Impact scored. And I don't know. It was like after Impact scored that, it was like they just took all the wind out of X Factor sails. X Factor had no fucking answer for him. Archie kept getting shot.
Archie busted his ass. I
Yeah,
don't know if anybody saw that. Did you see that?
no,
He went to go. He went to run the highway. He jumped the snake bean. It's like it looked from the way the camera angle was like, say this is a snake beam. It looked like he went to go jump over it, but he went doop, boop,
Oh, that sucks.
and it got him torched. Nah, I hate that for him, but I mean, like, shit happens, I guess. But
Yeah.
I feel that him fucking up like that, he probably could have made a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. But I mean, they all played. I mean, obviously they didn't play too great. They played good. They made it to the finals on Sunday. Fuzzy Jackson had some big moments over the weekend. They were constantly calling his name on the broadcast. Celos, they picked Celos up for this event. He made Dorito 50 off the break like several times.
Celos played lights out for X Factor. I will give him that. And I think that is so fucking funny that because I'm pretty sure he got cut from Diesel, right? Did he quit or did he
It
get
was like
cut?
a mutual. It was kind of, from the way I understand it, it was a I quit, no you're fired type deal. I could be
I
wrong,
mean,
but just gathering what I've read on socials is kind of what.
regardless, like him going that and then actually getting like playtime and actually like making a difference on the field. Fucking props to him, dude. Because
Yeah,
that's like a big old fuck you kind of thing. So
yeah. Shout out
I'm
Celos.
happy for him on that one.
He was doing
Dude's a
amazing.
baller.
Oh, yeah, he was doing amazing. They kind of had the 1-2 punch with Billy and Archie and the Snake.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a better 1-2 punch than JC and Tyler Harmon. But it begs the question, did Mikey not have a good practice? And then when they
I
did
don't
when they
know.
did put him in the finals, he got a penalty. So it was like, what's going on with you here, dude?
He probably won't be on Impact next year.
Yeah, I
If
I
it,
don't know, because he left Dynasty talking about playtime and went to Impact and was getting playtime, and then when they started talking about bringing Mouse on, he went to Legion, and then when Mouse left, he went back, and I haven't seen him get a dog shit load of playtime. I mean, he's got his fair share, I feel like, but I just wonder, like, is JC and them just knocking it out the park so much to where that he don't, he's not having good practices, he's not outshining them. But I've openly said this before. I'm a huge Mike Urena fan, huge. Yeah, and then
He's a bully on the field,
And
man.
Zupo came back for this event.
As
Yeah.
Impact, look, like I've said it 100 times. I do not like Impact. That to me, they're kind of like, and this is gonna sound kind of hypocritical because I'm a huge Dynasty fan, but to
Mm.
me, they're kind of like the Patriots of the NXL. You
Hmm.
know, oh, we're expected to win, kind of shit. But
They were for a while, but the thing with
yeah,
them, the
but
thing with Impact is when you watch them play, they just kind of look like NPCs on the field. They're so composed, and I don't mean that as necessarily a bad thing, but they're so composed and shit that they just they wait for you to mess up essentially, and they play off your failures. But you know, Tyler Harmon bringing the explosive energy, he'll sometimes shake some shit and make it happen, uh, but that's the kind of composure that wins events. Obviously, they just won this last event, but you see X Factor trying to make these desperation runs, and if Impact is in that situation, sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, you don't really see. Sometimes they just kind of sit in their pocket, but because the last time they tried to do that, Marcelo shot 4 of them when he was on Dynasty.
yeah,
So
so but I don't I don't have any like harsh feelings or anything like that against like the actual players itself. I just don't like the fact that kind of how that organization is like just outside of looking in, you know what I mean?
yeah,
That has that, oh, we're expected to win kind of thing because we're Impact. We have all this bought talent. The same thing with Diesel caught all that fucking all that shit with him, Mark Johnson forking out all that fucking,
oh yeah.
money for the bought talent. But when Impact did it though, because Impact had Keith Brown at one time, Rainey was on there before, you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
when
and
they
I mean,
do it,
look
it
at this
works.
year. They lost in the finals to Fit, so Bart broke out the checkbook again and picked up 4 of the superstars, and now 2 of those superstars are on Damage. The second, the second highest paying
Yeah.
team in the league. So, oh man, I wish Damage would have done better. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna elaborate too much. I'm not getting into this topic right now, but all I'm saying is people are still crying on Instagram about some shit that happened months ago.
Oh my
And
fucking
still,
God.
still fucking crying. And I wish Damage would get their shit together. I know it's probably some growing pains. You're putting 2 big brains on an already big brain team. I mean, just look at it. Marcelo and Mouse, arguably 2 of the best players in the league, right? Then
Yeah, with brothers.
you're stacking that on top of, you're bringing those into an already established organization with Edwards brothers, Keith Brown. Joey Blute has to handle all this shit. So
Agent Smith, fucking
AJ
Daniel Holiday,
Smith,
like
yeah,
probably one of the most senior veterans in the fucking game right now because he
yeah,
played on fucking Strange.
just just all kind of just good talent over there, and I wish they would get their shit together because I'm so sick of hearing just reading the comments on Instagram. It is so fucking old. It is so old.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of that shit going on right now with all
yeah,
types of fucking.
it's
I'm not digging into politics and current events with that, but like, yeah, it's because I see it too. I just try not to fucking bring it up anymore because, like what you said earlier, I don't want it to keep circulating because you just keep on talking about it. But goddamn, dude, enough is
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
So
All I'm
I
gonna
hope I want them to win.
yeah.
I do.
I
I
wish
hope
they
they
would
win
win.
cup.
I wish they would win cup. I would you know not just because we're sponsored by them, but I would love to see Infamous win cup. You know, shout out to our
They
boys.
look a lot better. Dude, Sam
You know,
Silberg was playing
he
fucking
did it. He
lights
did.
out.
And Rob Velez had some very clutch moments. Your friend. Yeah,
Yeah.
but just
Dude will
to
torch me in fucking speedball any day of the week.
just kind of put a cap on that last little tidbit. All I'm gonna say about all that shit is when you get on, people are too comfortable about getting on the internet and just shit
Talking
talking.
shit.
Just
Yeah.
just be good people, dude. It's not that hard. It is not that hard. The world is, people make the world worse than what it really is. Just fucking have conversation, and just people aren't gonna think like you do, right? And we're not gonna, just take that how you will. There's been some recent events that have transpired that weigh heavily on my mind. We won't. We're not a political podcast. We won't get onto that here. But be good people. That's all I'm gonna say.
damn near impossible.
Yeah,
Impossible.
impossible. So, um, but yes, X Factor, Impact wins.
I
Um,
didn't like that finals match, man.
no, I
Like
didn't.
as a fan, again, as a fan, like it seemed like X Factor was like you could tell when they brought some of that shit back though, like the last minute stuff. You could see the experience starting to shine
They
out. You know
should have
what I
did that
mean?
shit when they brought Colt 45 out. I mean, y'all should have did it like 4 minutes ago. Y'all could have been,
Yeah,
down one and pulled a bitch into overtime. But um, I don't know. I'm not a professional player. I'm not a professional coach. Shout out to Ryan Brand and the whole Alex Martinez and the X Factor organization. That's they've been so close several times, and as much as I'm not a X Factor isn't at the top of my list on favorite teams. They're probably, I'd say, top five maybe. But I have other teams that I would prefer to win. I just say Damage. Um, I have some other teams that I would prefer to win, but I would have loved to have seen X Factor take this win. I also
yeah,
think
for sure.
it'd be great for them to do that for Alex Martinez before Alex is getting up in age. Maybe one day he's probably gonna be like, I'm tired of doing this shit. I'm retiring. I'm done. I'm gonna sell
Yeah,
the team or blah blah blah. I hope not, but let's fucking get one in the books for Alex one time.
I had a nice little conversation with him in Chicago 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Went to go pit for him or whatever, and he was like extremely humble, nice, and then he found out that I was actually active duty, and then I can't remember who was sitting beside me, and they were like, "Yeah, his fucking wife just died, and he's here." I'm like,
Yeah, thanks.
"Thanks, man." I was trying not to fucking,
I'm here to get
relive
away
that
from
shit.
that.
Yeah, and he was just so fucking dumbfounded that I was still doing it, like, still coming to paintball. He was like, basically like, "Bless your little heart," kind of
Yeah,
thing. You know what I mean? But we had a good probably like 25, 30 minute conversation. He pretty much dropped the tournament to talk to me about that situation, so I'll never forget that.
yeah.
Um,
One of the nicest guys in paintball.
Without a doubt, man. I even reached out to him when we lost Ashton. That Ashton was a player for X Factor at one time, and I was getting the military remembrance bracelets, and he was like, "Yes, please send me one." He was like, "I will pay for like 20 of them." And
Yeah,
then I went to go. He's like, "I'm not going to say on the air on who he told me to send it to, send the info to, but they completely dropped the ball and they never got him."
of course,
But yeah,
of course.
yeah, and that's another reason why I don't like that individual. Remember I told you about a person was like being a crybaby in the pits and throwing like a legitimate tantrum.
Yeah, yeah,
It's that
yeah.
same person that dropped the ball in that.
Mm,
So I was like, you're not my fucking favorite person, buddy, because you pretty
yeah,
much just fucking brushed that whole scenario off.
yeah.
But
Trash.
anyway, onto a lighter note. Uh, I didn't mind the tournament. I did not like the slow play. I didn't mind the suspense essentially. I did like the fact that some, like, I guess you can call them underdogs now, because like, let's just be real, there are some teams on here that are expected to be on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
like Damage, Impact, Fit now, like, those, your typical Sunday players. But then you also have teams that have been struggling recently in the past, like Infamous. Then you
Hurricanes.
had Hurricanes, Uprising, Arsenal, and then like the talent is starting to basically spread everywhere throughout the league, and
What
it's
have I,
it's
what have I been
awesome.
saying for the last 2 years on here? Anybody, any
Try not to
pro,
beat a dead horse.
any pro team on that list can win one of those events if they
Hmm.
put in 1% more effort than the top team. Any team can win it, and it's starting to get proven. Look at the Hurricanes. They didn't have a great track record all year. Now they're quarterfinals. It's just any team can do it. Leverage can do it. If Leverage just picks up another gear and it just clicks for them. They click the layout and they find shots that nobody else knows about. They can win it. And they're the last place team. So The powers that be aren't so separated as they used to be. It was always like,
Yeah.
oh, Dynasty excessive, naughty dogs, and then it was like Jan's sandwiches fucking team down here. It was the same thing every event.
Yeah.
So
No, it was nice. It was I guess you could say like a nice change of pace or whatever. I liked it.
I'm just happy to be back. Fuck football.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeehaw, brother.
two shits, but yeah, no spank you.
Yeah.
Um, I did, however, I'll change the gear for a little bit and then we can get out of here. I don't want to go in my gear bag and get it, but I did receive the deflect head wrap from Infamous that is drop. That thing's pretty nice, dude. I will say that probably for the first time ever, I didn't feel like I had, I guess, like a fucking towel on my head. Alone
Oh
Akbar! Like I
my
didn't
god.
fucking it was breathable, it was light, I liked it.
Yeah.
Whatever they have going on there, because I didn't want to do no head, just the headband. I didn't want to do like the little skull cap thing. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta have a head wrap. It's either I rock up a fucking headband, like a Hormesis band or a Sandana band,
Hmm.
or the actual head wrap. Then the
I've got
fucking
to have a
band.
head wrap. Got to, and I need a new one, so I have to check those
I
out.
only don't wear a head wrap when it's super fucking hot. That's
Yeah.
it.
You see pictures of me on that 1-to-1 where all I had was my Hormesis band.
Yeah.
The which one was it? The
Your
fucking
Nikki T.
yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
So I can't find my Carl Markowski band anywhere. Do
I
you
would
have?
tell him,
Do you have it?
no, I have
Hmm.
mine.
Hmm. That sucks. That's my
And my
favorite
other one
one.
that just happened to pop up.
That's my favorite one. But yeah.
You better
So
start looking.
yeah, it's somewhere around here. So just congratulations to Edmonton Impact on their win. It's been a couple years since they've won. Bart's shelled out some money, and I'm super happy for Tyler Harmon.
About to say, I'm glad that Tyler finally got a
Yeah,
fucking dub
yeah.
here.
Shout out to him. I would have liked to have seen like Colt Roberts and Billy Bernacchi. Of course, I would have seen the X Factor guys get it, but Tyler is a very dedicated player, and all the guys on Impact are. It shows. They're very consistent with what they do. It's not like you see them at 17th one event and second the next. So, shout out to them, and can't wait to see what everybody does in Cup.
I'm super stoked for Cup though.
Yeah,
I
I'm
really
hyped.
am.
I'm hyped.
I'm actually we got the Airbnb locked in.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Super
I
stoked
can't
about
wait to
that.
spoon with Carson.
Smash.
Yeah.
But no, I'm super excited for Cup, and then essentially going to Cup and just actually enjoy the venue and watch like actually just people playing and shit. I'm
Hmm.
actually super excited about that. I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about me fucking getting my shit pushed in. Am I gonna win? Am I bringing home a series title again? Like, I like it, man. I like this
It's
approach. It's
no
different.
stress. It's no stress.
Yeah,
We're just
just
go out there and politic and see the homies.
and network just a little bit.
Well, yeah,
So
go see the homies.
I'm super stoked for it, man.
Yeah. So, that's been the Texas event. This is number 99. And real quick before we get out of here, if you would like to get some paintball gear from Infamous or Pro DNA, look at behind Daniel for the YouTube, infamouspaintball.com. Use code CENTER50, CENTER50 will get you 10% off on anything on the site except markers. And we also get a 45% kickback on everything you buy, and it goes straight. Not just playing, we don't get shit. But yeah, 10
Except for
percent
laugh
off.
at.
Yeah, 10% off on anything you want, except markers. If you want to get a discount on a marker, just use discount please, and it still it still won't work. But yeah, do that and send us your Pro DNA gear. We'll show it off on the Instagram story. Shout out Skeleton Gang, Skeleton Society.
I got nothing else. See y'all on episode 100.
100, we will be there. Peace.
Whoop, whoop.